Hey everybody, Marcus here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, the little DJI Neo has kind of been a revolution. It's a lower price product, an entry-level product that has proven to be very versatile, and I know a lot of people have purchased it. I saw a lot of them at the South Florida drone meetup, a lot of people flying this cool little drone. Well, with that in mind, the folks at STARTRC have sent me a few accessories. One of which is a nice, this is one of those kind of semi-rigid cases for it that holds the Neo and more. So let's take a look here. I'll show you a quick look and then we'll take a closer look. But as you can see, it holds a controller, the drone, batteries, and whatever accessories, etc. So we're going to take a closer look at this case. But they also sent me some other things. They sent me an ND filter set for the little Neo, and they also sent me a this kit right here. It's basically a protection kit. It's got a camera guard on the front. It's got a battery guard and some other things. We'll pull that out and take a look at it. And then this one is really intriguing. They sent me landing gear that has an LED light on it, and it's rechargeable. It's got a battery within itself. And this is an interesting product, and we'll talk more about that. We'll get that out of the box as well. So yeah, let's get these guys out of the box and let's take a closer look at these accessories from STARTRC for the DJI Neo. So the case itself, this is a semi-rigid. In other words, it's rigid to the touch, but it's not hard plastic. These are my favorite kind of drone case. I know a lot of people like the hard plastic products, and I know STARTRC also makes those for the little Neo, but I was glad to see this one. Let's unzip this guy and we can show you what's inside. Flip it around here, and I gave you a peek earlier, but however, you have on the top here, let's look at that first, you've got a zippered mesh compartment that holds, you know, all of your extra things, your cables and extra props and that, and your manuals and that sort of thing. And it zips closed, so it keeps that stuff secure and you don't lose it. And then also it does come with a shoulder strap. I just folded it up and stuck it here. I like just using the suitcase style handle is my preference, but you also can put a couple of batteries there. And then also the drone itself, and it just fits very snugly. This is with the prop guards on there, and it fits very snugly in that spot. And then underneath that is where the battery hub sits, and you can also, so in reality, you could carry 5 batteries, right? You could have 3 in here, well, 6 batteries, because 1 in the drone, 3 in here, and then a couple up here. So that's pretty handy. You could carry a full kit, and obviously the Neo doesn't have a lot of flight time, so the more batteries the better if you're out flying all day. And then one of the things that was important to me was to be able to carry the DJI RC. Now in the US, the Neo kit does not come with an RC, so you either have to buy the RCN type controller or the DJI RC2 like this one. It's an RCN3, I believe, for this drone. And so they both fit in this case. Now, this particular controller is from my Air 3S, but it does double duty. I use it for the Neo as well. But when I'm out in the field, I like to be able to carry the whole kit, and this allows me to do that. So as you can see under here, you've got a spot for an RCN3 controller on the bottom, but then if you want the DJI RC2, it fits right there, and I like they got a couple of finger holes so you can get in there and pry and get it out of there. So that's a pretty handy feature. So that's the STARTRC semi-rigid case for the DJI Neo, and let's look at those other accessories now. Alrighty, first things first, we've got some ND filters for the Neo, and they include an ND 8, 16, and 32, and then there's a circular polarizer. Let me pull it out of the box and show it to you. So I appreciate that they give you a nice set of instructions and a cleaning cloth with the kit. Here is the kit itself. Let's open it up. And what you've got here is an ND8, a 16, a 32, and then this is a circular polarizer that helps you get rid of glare in your shots. And then underneath this little piece, foam piece right here, well, I can see I've got a couple of them. Those are metal rings. Yeah, so there we've got it focused. So you can see on the metal ring that they give you, there's some two-sided tape, and you actually put that on the front of your Neo. Now I've already got one on mine, so I'll show you that in a second. And it's just a metal ring, and the ND filters are magnetic, and that's what they stick to. So in today's flight with the Neo, we're going to use an ND8, and you can see the lens there, and this just basically magnetically slips right on there. So it's on the lens right now, and it's held on there magnetically. And yeah, I suppose if you had a crash or something, it would come off, but it's on there pretty good, so you're certainly not going to lose it flying around. So that's the STARTRC filter kit for the DJI Neo. Now let's take a look at the protection kit. So with this kit, they give you some nice instructions on how to do it, and basically what you have here is a little guard that goes over the front of the Neo to protect the camera, and I'll show you, we'll look at that a little closer here in a second. But then you also have a battery guard, and I guess you know it's got some landing legs on it, etc. And I think that can help hold the battery in place for a hard landing. They also give you a Torx head screwdriver, and I see it also has some longer Torx head screws, and there's a reason for that. So so let's turn the Neo around here. Let me see if I can get it up close. See these two Torx head screws right here? That is where this little guy goes. So you basically take those screws out, and with that special screwdriver, you put those longer screws in there, and then that gives you a guard essentially over the camera of the drone. If you're flying your Neo FPV a lot and doing those kind of things, I think that's probably a pretty handy thing to have. And then with regard to a battery holder, this is very simple. So, you know, you can see you got the landing legs right here. That's kind of a good guide to how to fit it on. And you can see on the back here, you've got a door there. So let's just snap this guy on. And it's that easy. It snaps in place. And that's just going to help hold your battery in place. And again, if you're flying FPV or something, that's something that you're going to want to put on there so that the battery does not separate from the drone in case of a crash. And then it's very easy to take off. Just simply pull up and the whole thing just snaps back off. Now the last product that STARTRC sent me is this Neo LED landing gear, and this is very intriguing to me. So not only does it protect the battery and hold it in place, but it includes an LED light on there. So one of the things about the Neo is it requires a lot of light. So if you're flying indoors, etc., or in lower light situations, this will help the drone know where the ground is, and you'll be able to fly it in more situations than you would otherwise. Let's pull it out of the box and take a look. So again, they give you a good set of instructions, as is always handy, and they give you a USB-A to USB-C charge cable. Why do you need that? Well, you can see a USB-C port on the lights here, and that's how you charge the battery on this thing. And I'm going to turn on the light here so that you can kind of see how bright it is. So you can see that's pretty bright, LED lights all the way around. That definitely would help you see the drone a little bit better too. But just like the other piece that we showed you on the drone protection kit, this is very similar and goes on in a similar way, and will help hold the battery in as well in case if you did have a crash or something, the battery's not going to go flying. So let's snap this guy on here and I can show you how it works. So for me, I just line it up with the landing gear there and just push down and it snaps in place. And just like the other one, you can see it snaps over the top there. So then when you're flying the drone, you got that light on. Just turn that switch and the light is on. And I don't know if you can kind of see, it's putting off a lot of light, and that allows the drone to see the ground. The sensors on the time of flight sensor, well, time of flight sensors, I wouldn't worry about it, but the optical flow sensor, that's going to allow it to see the ground. So there it is. That's something that it also, I think, is handy in that it adds a little weight to the drone and, you know, potentially could make it a little bit steadier in windy conditions. It's also, the weight is down low, which is kind of where you'd want it, so it wouldn't be flipping over. So pretty handy little device from STARTRC. Okay, there's only one thing left to do. Let's leave this LED light on here and that ND8 on the front. And let's take the little DJI Neo out for a quick flight. Hey, okay, so I'm out in the field with the little DJI Neo. We've got the STARTRC light bar attached to it, a kind of battery protector light bar attached to it. Well, it's bright sunlight right now, so we don't need to turn that light on, but there's a little bit of wind, so that I think will help keep it a little bit more stable. And then I do have the ND8 STARTRC filter on there as well. So let's quit messing around. Let's put this drone in the air and yeah, let's just take it for a little flight. Okay, I've got a screen recorder started and we need to connect to aircraft again. This is the controller that I usually use to fly my Air 3. So we're going to click on Neo down there and DJI Neo and confirm connection to the Neo, switch firmware to the corresponding version, confirm. So evidently it needs to update the firmware in the controller, firmware updated, relink device, and it should start automatically. So searching for the aircraft, so I think what I need to do is I need to hold down the button and put it into the power button and put it into pairing mode, and we did. And unable to connect to aircraft. Let's click on that. Aircraft beeped. Okay, we're doing that. We're going to click pair. And boom, there we got it that fast.
Home point updated.
So it tells us it's got the home point, tells us that it's connected up. And, you know, just like any other DJI drone, which I think is remarkable. So if you look at the bottom right of the screen, you can see we're shooting in 4K 30. Let's go over the safety menu real quick. And looks like I've got this one set up in Imperial. So return to home, 114 feet, that's plenty. 393 feet, which is 120 meters for max altitude. No limit, not asking for any calibrations. We can look at the battery, but battery looks good. So we're good to go there. Let's go ahead and start recording now. Boom, we're recording, and heck, let's just do an automated takeoff on the app here. So I'm clicking on that, holding down that takeoff button, and boom, there's a little drone up in the air. Okay, so I'm out in the schoolyard not far from my house, and I see they're out there practicing a little bit of soccer today. So we're going to be careful and not go over that end of the field here. However, the little drone seems to be doing okay with the extra weight that it's carrying. By the way, it's still under 250 grams with that light on there and with the ND filter, but let's do our usual droney, reverse and up, and off we go. And what a responsive little drone this is. And that's me dropping the camera down. Ooh, I went too far. And off we go. Pretty cool. This little drone is something. And I've got an aircraft. He is way higher than us and behind me or to the side of me over here. So no worries there. First thing we're going to do, so we've got that ND8 filter on here. So let's get that rule of thirds, sort of. I need to adjust the speed at which that gimbal moves, but let's kind of look towards the sun here so you can kind of see how that gimbal helps us out, or that ND filter helps us out. And you know, hopefully the sky's not blown out. It's looking really good, I tell you, on the FPV screen that I can see here. And there's those kids I was telling you about that are starting their soccer practice. So we're going to stay way away from that corner of the field. But let's move around here and let's take a look at my favorite cell phone tower. What gets me about this little Neo is just how practical it is with regard to, I take that back, versatile is what I was trying to say there. You know, you can fly it in so many different ways. I'm flying it with the controller, with the RC2 controller right now, with a built-in FPV screen, doing a manual orbit around the cell phone tower here. And the drone just handles it just perfectly. And it would be just as if you were flying a bigger Mavic or something like that. It just handles it well. Plus, in addition to that, you've got all the automated features of this little drone where you can fly it without a controller at all, or you can fly it just with your phone if you wish, or you can fly it with the FPV controller, whether that's the motion controller or the FPV controller, and you can use your goggles. So yeah, so let's just move up and away from the cell phone tower here. And yeah, getting a good look there. And again, it's a pretty sunny day here, and I've got perfect FPV feed. The little drone is not, I'm not losing any control at all, or I don't have any stuttering on the FPV feed. Got that DJI OcuSync, and again, so it's eating up battery pretty fast. You can see we're down to 58% battery, but it's a tiny little drone, right? I think the factory rate with just a battery is like 160 grams, something like that. So it's a tiny little thing. So I wouldn't fly it on a terribly windy day. I'm trying to remember what the wind rating is on this thing. I think it's level 4 or something like that. I'm not sure I would even fly it in those kind of winds. But the other thing that we're trying to establish here today is how well it handles with that STARTRC battery protector / light. And I can tell you, flying it, you just wouldn't even know. I can't even tell any difference at all. So we're in normal mode here. And let me fly it back towards us, and let's just see how fast we can get it up to. We're, as I'm moving around here, right around 8 miles an hour. But this is full stick forward in normal mode. And let's see how fast we get up to here. You know, not too terribly, about, you know, not quite 9 miles an hour. So let's throw it into sport mode here. I'm going to pause here for a second. We're going to throw it into sport mode and go full stick forward here in sport mode. And let's see if we can go to the other end of the field. And look at that, 15 miles an hour out of this little lightweight little, you know, I call these selfie drones, down to 44% battery. So again, it's not like you're going to get, you know, 30 minutes of flight time out of a battery on this little guy. But in many cases, you often don't need to fly for that length of time. So let's kind of turn it around here, kind of give you a look. It is a beautiful shirt sleeve day today here in Idaho. And it's about, I don't know, it's about 5:30 or so in the afternoon. Very, very pleasant. Lots of people showing up here for soccer practice. Let's bring this guy down. And in fact, I'm going to put it back into normal mode because I want just a little bit finer control. And we can kind of come through one of the parking lots here, fly through the trees. The cool thing about this drone also, with the you can do this kind of flying because you've got those ducted fans and the props are somewhat protected. So you feel a lot, you can have a lot more confidence. And the drone is light enough, so even if you did, let's say we hit one of these little branches here or something, it isn't really going to hurt the drone. It's light enough, and it's liable just to bounce off with those ducted props. So kind of a handy thing. And so let's see, I'm going to turn around here, make sure we don't have any cars coming this way, and let's fly over the top. Let's get over here, kind of in front of the school, and we'll bring it back to us here. We're down to, we're using up battery pretty good. We're down to about, let's just kind of zigzag through here. We're down to about 27, 26% battery. So it's going to go into return to home here real quick. So in fact, maybe we'll just let it do that. You can see, let me kind of move around here, and you can see where I'm at over here, and there's people pulling up, so I'm kind of being careful. You can see me standing over there. But let's, let's send the drone. Let's just let it do its thing here. And yeah, so now it's going to go into return to home. And you know what? I had that green line for, yeah, no, we do have the green line. So I'm dropping the camera down here so we can see, and it's going to go way high up, right? It's going to go up, I think we had it set at 115 feet. So it's way up there. I'm going to fire up my action camera so you can see it. Let me see if I can get that going here. And the drone is coming in. It's coming straight down now. And it's going to be pretty close here. You can see it. It's coming down pretty quick. I'm watching it here, making sure that it misses the tree, etc. And down it comes. Low battery, return promptly. Let's see, how about 14% battery, 13%. So down on the ground, and it shuts down the props. Now, this drone does not pretend to have precision landing, and we're a good, I'm going to say 12 feet away from the landing pad, but that's perfectly acceptable. And again, this is something you could have landed in your hand. Okay, let me get it all shut down and we'll do a quick conclusion. Hey, okay, the little DJI Neo with some pretty cool accessories from STARTRC. Again, we've got the battery protector landing light. Now this will be really handy to use indoors in low light situations. And those really super easy to use ND filters. And of course the great case that STARTRC sent me. I'm just always impressed at what a versatile little drone the little Neo is. And again, I think the extra weight on the bottom, I think almost kind of helps it a little bit. It sure didn't seem to hurt performance. You saw when we put it in sport mode, we got up to about 15 miles an hour. And then also, it just flew great. It handles like any other DJI drone. You saw me do a manual orbit around the cell phone tower, and then we took it out over the school and flew it back. Again, battery time, I didn't notice how long that flight was. We were in the air 10 or 12 minutes, something like that. That's all you're going to get out of the little battery on these things, which is just fine for a little drone like this. This is so versatile. At $199, it just amazes me that that DJI can give you so much in such a small package. Plus like I talked about in the video, obviously how the different ways that you can fly it. But again, I want to thank STARTRC for sending me out all the accessories for this. They definitely enhance the product, and I appreciate that. I'll put my affiliate link for those products down below, and understand that I do get paid a little bit of commission if you buy those products off of those links. And of course, I'll put a link for this guy as well. But that's about it. This is Marcus with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I appreciate that you took the time to look at this video. And again, the little DJI Neo with STARTRC accessories, just a really neat package. See you guys later.